please introduce yourself.
My name is Selin. I'm the owner and operator of South Hill Cider.
Nice. And tell me a little bit about South Hill Cider. How did it start? How did you get into it?
I've been making cider for almost 20 years, and about almost 10 years ago, I guess around 2011, I decided to make it a commercial venture where we were going to plant an orchard and make cider just like wine. So we had an orchard right out the window here, and we planted the orchard to make cider, and then a couple of years ago we built this building right here to make the cider. And we press the apples, ferment them, bottle them just like wine, but made out of apples.
Great.
I always describe it that way because some people picture cider as a six-pack product you buy at a gas station. That is not what we make here.
Yeah, that's really cool. So how did you come across the Thermote?
I came across the Thermote, I guess, directly from Dirk.
Yeah.
I know Dirk locally, and he was describing this product he's working on, and immediately I was like, that's exactly what I've been looking for. And at first it was because of the orchard. We have to monitor the temperatures in the springtime carefully, just so we know certain management things have to happen at certain temperatures. So I wanted to track the temperatures accurately. Also, just knowing in the winter how cold things are getting gives you an idea of what kind of condition the trees are going to be in the springtime. So tracking the local weather very accurately is something that I was really excited about. But then also I have other, I found two other uses, so I've actually bought more since then.
Okay, so you said you had 2 Thermotes currently. What exactly do you use those for right now?
Actually, I have 3 now. So I have one in the orchard. That's the original place that I wanted one. And then we have coolers where we store cider and some food. So I wanted to make sure that the coolers are always in good shape. And so I put one in the cooler, and we've been monitoring that. And I have it set so if it goes over a certain temperature or below a certain temperature, I get notified. Though we have a walk-in cooler that's outside, so in the midwinter we actually have to be careful that it doesn't get too cold. And so I monitor it in the winter to make sure it doesn't get too cold, and in the warm weather to make sure it doesn't get too warm. And then the other use is on our tanks. We have cider that we ferment in tanks, and we can control the temperature on some of them. And so I have one Thermote on one of the tanks so that I can tell it's being cooled properly.
Great, and that third one you just recently bought from Amazon, correct?
Yeah, the first couple I got directly from the company, but then I saw they were on Amazon, and so I figured I would pick one up there. It showed up in, I think, one day.
Wow, yeah. How do you feel about it being on Amazon? What was the experience like going through Amazon instead of the website?
Well, it's convenient. I try to not buy stuff on Amazon. I'm going to be totally frank here, so we can edit this if you want, but so the reason I went to Amazon was because then I could actually give a good review. If I bought it from the website, I wouldn't be able to review it. So I figured I would get it off Amazon so I could help out and give a good review on Amazon.
So what do you find most useful about the Thermote, like regarding features? Does it have all the features that you would want it to have?
What's most useful? Yeah, it's got the features. I can look up and see exactly what temperature it is. I can get a notification if it's above or below a certain threshold. I know, there's also a unit that measures humidity, which I haven't gotten yet, but I've been thinking about it for the soil, particularly in the orchard. I don't have irrigation here, and that's why I haven't gotten that sensor yet, because there's not much I can do if it drops below a certain point. But at some point, possibly this summer, we might be able to irrigate. So at that point, I'll get one to measure the soil humidity.
How often do you check the app? Do you find it easy to use?
I find it easy to use, yeah. I check it. It depends on the weather. If the weather's very stable, I find I don't check it very often because I have it set, all of them I have set to notify me if it's above or below a certain threshold. And so sometimes I just forget about it and just know that it's safe. But I check the orchard one pretty often, because it's just telling me what the weather, what the temperature is outside.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I probably check more often than the others, because the others I just know as long as I don't get a text message, they're within the range and I don't have to worry about it.
And has an alert ever helped you out?
Oh yeah, alerts have definitely helped me out. One time in particular, it was the cooler door it didn't close properly, and so there was nothing wrong with the cooler other than the fact that the door was a little bit ajar and the temperature just creeped up, and so I was able to go and check it and close it. So
Awesome.
that was pretty handy. Yeah.
Is there anything you would want anybody else to know about the Thermote?
I just think a lot more people should know about it. I mean, I've told a lot of my orchardist friends about it because it is, it's just really useful, especially because often orchards are somewhat remote locations.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be on Wi-Fi. Like I have a LoRaWAN unit so that the sensor can be a half mile, I don't think it's quite a half mile, it's probably a quarter of a mile out there. But it's beyond where Wi-Fi can reach, and it works seamlessly. So all of them are on that system. So yeah, I try and convince my orchard friends to get these because they can monitor the temperatures exactly where they want to monitor them.
That's great. All right, so you just mentioned the LoRaWAN. Were you aware of the LoRaWAN prior to buying the Thermotes? And
I had never heard of LoRaWAN, before getting this unit. And I think it came up because I was talking about wanting to measure the temperature in the orchard, and we figured out that the Wi-Fi wouldn't reach there, and they were like, yeah, no problem, we've got LoRaWAN, and I didn't understand how it worked. But now I think I understand how it works, is that it's similar to Wi-Fi. It's a way that things can communicate wirelessly, but over much larger distances. And so the unit in the orchard communicates to the LoRaWAN unit that's plugged into the wall here, and then that unit jumps on the Wi-Fi to get it onto my phone. So it's just a bridge to get more reach.
Yeah, that's got to be really helpful because you were just saying with orchards you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere and there's some pretty large distances between Wi-Fi and your devices.
Great, and it's also great because I can move the unit. Like at times I've actually taken it from the orchard and put it up, at my house. If I want to measure things in different places, I can move it all over the property, and it still gets picked up by the LoRaWAN unit. So I don't have to pair it or, get on a different Wi-Fi or anything. I can just put it wherever I want it, and it will just seamlessly continue working.
Yeah, that's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the company overall?
Oh, the company's great. Yeah, everybody's super helpful, super friendly. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. I love the product, but dealing with anybody I've ever had to talk to there is super, super great to deal with.
Okay, so you all have a social media, South Hill Cider, and for those watching, we want you to go give them a follow and show them your support. Thank you for this interview and this conversation. It was great.
Yeah, happy to help. Thank you. And I'd go out and get one.